tell you something. The fact that it is cold as hell, okay, the sun is setting at 2 p.m. now, and Rona is still out here, you need to make sure that I'm informed the next time there's an alien abduction, okay? Tell ET and them I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Welcome to another episode of I Can't Stop Talking. First of all, Attack on Titan is out. The first episode of season 4 came out. Y'all need to get into it. Those of you who are into this shit, you already know. Listen, let me tell you something. We were just on the live stream talking about that shit at the end. I'm gonna get this whole season, especially with the way that this shit just started out. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm getting my goddamn life. Speaking of somebody who's getting a life, make sure that you get your life by going over to patreon.com/AdrianExpression on Tuesday. That means tomorrow, okay? I'm putting up a new episode. The girls already tell me what they want me to talk about on Patreon, so let me know. We always have fun over there. It's a lot of mess, but it's a lot of good shit too. Can you believe that Ivanka Trump tweeted this bullshit talking about, oh my God, this is an amazing photo of Donald Trump during his visit to Mount Rushmore. I'm just like, I don't know how many times that the native people have to tell y'all that they did not appreciate you carving y'all slave masters into their fucking lands. But I know that Trump thinks that he belongs on Mount Rushmore. And what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, he definitely does belong on somebody's like rock or stone sculptures. Along with the rest of the masses, except that it would just look like this, okay? That's what I want him to do. This is all of their legacies, including his. This is the only thing that they deserve, okay? Dionne Warwick is out here tweeting. Now, I think that Got to Be Real has ruined, not even ruined, because I think that is one of the best web series on the planet. But Got to Be Real has definitely affected how I see like Dionne Warwick, how I saw Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle definitely affected it, because every time she tweets, I expect her to say like hussy or something like that. But you know, she is tweeting, it is hilarious. And if you think that she is not the one tweeting, she had a message for you.
And this is for all of you tweeters who have decided that I'm not tweeting my own stuff to you. I want you to know I am. And I'm getting it very, very, very good at it.
So yeah, like I said, because of Got to Be Real, I really expect her to start calling Hate Retha. Anyway, child, let's talk about Cardi B's $88,000 purse. Okay, so Cardi, I guess, like it says in the thumbnail, Cardi, I guess she thought that we were her accountants, right? And she put this tweet up. Should I spend $88,000 for this damn purse? Oh my gosh, it's so tempting, right? And for me, I'm like, okay, I don't like the fact that you motherfuckers out here can spend whole houses on purses. But you know, that's coming from, like I always say, it's coming from me, someone who makes monthly payments. You know what I mean? Very much payment plan type of girl. So, you know, it is what it is. And I just accepted that fact about the world like many of us have, right? But my thing is, don't you have rich ass celebrities to go DM, to go, you know, in the group chat or something and ask them about an $88,000 motherfucking purse? People who going through the pandemic, you know, losing their goddamn jobs, like, we don't want to see that. People don't want to see that shit. And then you're so shocked at the response from that. Like, y'all live in a bubble, so keep that, you know, rich people shit in your own bubble. Just text Offset if he's not in somebody else's bed right now. Text him. You know, you got the whole Migos. But then again, I don't be knowing how rich these motherfuckers actually are. Loudly as it's kept, because it's not quiet. You know, a lot of these girls ain't making money from their music. You know, so I don't know how rich these people are, but what I'm saying is we are just not in the tax bracket for you to be asking that question on Twitter and then be so surprised and shocked and angry when people say, hey mama, I don't want to see this. Like, you talking about 2 people's salary, one person's salary, 2 people's salary on one object. Just do it on your own time. Just spend it. Just spend that money. Swipe your card silently. You know, and a lot of times I feel like being rich is not enough for some people. People have to know that you're rich. I think a lot of times people get validation from that shit. And she was just like, oh my God, well, you know, I was just asking my fans, and then now y'all are mad I'm gonna only be tweeting Bible verses, and I was donating, and I'm just like, okay, Cash App donated, mama. But whatever. I was donating, and y'all are just pressed about that shit. It's like, ain't nobody trying to stop. We literally cannot stop you from spending your money. It's yours. You can do whatever fuck you want with it. But like, don't act so surprised or shocked when people, especially a lot of people who are struggling, that you asking us about throwing around 88,000 goddamn dollars. Like, please. My mom really thought Twitter was H&R Block or something. Like I said, you got your money, can't nobody stop you from spending shit. But it's like, girl, I don't want to see this shit. Like, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see. People are gonna just be like, oh my God, you hating and you mad because you broke. Okay, one of those two things is true. Yeah, I might not have no money, but God damn, ain't nobody hating. I'm just saying that shit is stupid. And if you don't want to hear that opinion, stop broadcasting on Twitter. And then you have Meek Mill, you know, let me just show you this.
Hey, I'm not gonna split it.
What you say, gave them, big bro?
That's why y'all don't put a hand in my car.
Big bro, they want me one time, Meek. Hey,
Yo, I just gave y'all money, man.
Man, y'all gotta split that money, man. It's 20.
Fuck, that's a dub. Yeah, man.
So yeah, I guess he was in Atlanta. You know them boys be selling water bottles, whatever they be selling on the side of the road. And he gonna talk about, you know, don't touch my car and all this bullshit. You know, he has to record it to make sure that we saw him give $20 to these motherfuckers and told them all to split it. And it's like, well, first of all, you might as well just drove past them for all that bullshit. Can you imagine driving around in like a $400,000 car and gave motherfuckers $20? If you gonna do that shit, don't record it and put it up for us to drag the shit out your rich ass. Second of all, like, if you gonna record it, why do we need to see this shit? Why do we need to see your millionaire ass give $20 to a bunch of motherfuckers on the side of the road to split evenly? You know what I mean? That you look corny. And I think these rich people think they look boss as fuck, they bossing. You look dumb as shit. Like, it's so annoying. So y'all can do corny ass, tone deaf ass, weird, you know, validation seeking ass, rich people shit on your own time. I just don't want to see that shit on the internet. That shit, like, I already knew a lot of y'all were corny and weird, in need of actual personalities and shit, but the way that y'all showing y'all ass about this shit really confirms it to me. I literally don't know why y'all can't just live on top of the multiple lifetimes of money that y'all have and do it in peace, so we don't have to see your attention-seeking antics always on the timeline. Just grow up. Now, I'm not sure if you're gonna set your calendars for this, but I know that I certainly won't. February 20th, 2021, we have a Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Now, if you remember, Jake Paul was the one who beat up Nate Robinson in the ring. And all of Black Twitter, the whole Black community was just like, collectively, just like, do with me. We was just like, you know what I mean? You know, we just like, okay, so I guess maybe this is some type of redemption kind of thing going on. So they have Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Now, like I said, the straight world, the straight men world, a lot of them are annoying as fuck. I think both of them are annoying as fuck. So it's just gonna be interesting to see, because if Logan, can you imagine if Logan get rock'em sock'em robot Floyd Mayweather in his goddamn forehead? That might be a little unlikely, but I don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be like that one random straight guy that watches me who's gonna be like, oh my God, no, well, Floyd is gonna drag the shit out of Logan. I'm just like, okay, I believe what I see at this point. Y'all got them white boys hyped up on, I don't know if they gave them some white supremacy injections or some shit, like he was like Bane or something from Batman. Don't know what y'all putting in these boys. I don't know what they eating or whatever, but I don't care about either one of their ass like that. So y'all just gonna have to let me know what happened. I ain't watching that shit. So can someone tell me if Matthew McConaughey has opened his goddamn mouth about politics before it was time to promote his memoir? I guess it's called Green Light or Green Lights or something like that. Can someone let me know if he actually said anything about fucking politics before this time? It's interesting the times that people, you know, pick to make controversial or dumbass statements about politics when it's time to sell some shit, but whatever. Matthew was on Russell Brand's goddamn podcast, and it was just talking about how the left is just so, but of course they had to put in some things about the right. You know, the right is in denial, and now they're in denial, but the left was in denial about Trump winning, and now it's the right's turn. So he said that, but he was, one thing he said was, there are a lot of people on that illiberal left that absolutely condescend, patronize, and are arrogant towards that other 50%. And that is spoken like somebody who has a bunch of privilege. People like him definitely try to portray politics as this even game, as like, oh, it's just one side, and they're just two sides, and we just need to see each other for what they are and equal. We're all in this together type of bullshit. And really, the only ones who can speak like that, their lives are not in danger because of, you know, bullshit ass healthcare policies. We didn't even talk about the discrimination that Black people and LGBT people experience in this country and what that means policy wise. Like, they are never, those people who speak like that are never in jeopardy. Either way, whichever administration is in office, they are not going to be in jeopardy. And so that's why they speak like that. I'm reminded of this picture of Nancy goddamn Pelosi and fucking Turtle McConnell, bitch McConnell. It is all a game to their asses. It's theater, especially you even see from the kente motherfucking clause to the fact that Nancy Pelosi ass is worth like $120 million. Mitch McConnell's worth like 24, like 30 million goddamn dollars. It's all theater, and you can see it every time they get up there and don't do anything while we pay them from our fucking taxes. It's just like, they're not at risk. They don't care about what the fuck happens. It's a game. And so when you can literally look at the right and see Nazis on one side and people who are fighting discrimination and tearing shit up in the streets trying to protect their rights and lives on the other side, then it's easy for you to be like, well, you know, both sides are equal, or both sides need to take the time and listen to each other. It's like, bitch, I'm not listening to you Nazi ass racist. It's just, it is what it is. But yeah, I just found it interesting that Matthew, I just haven't heard him say shit about politics. Now, this could be, you know, me being ignorant of him saying things, you know, but I just haven't heard no headline. I haven't seen him make no big declaration about no politics until it's time to sell his goddamn memoir. Says, like I said, hopefully you hit your target sales, so I won't have to see shit else you say. I hate it. And speaking of politics, I guess we'll end this on what y'all favorite centrist has said, Joe Biden. Okay, now this was, the reason I'm talking about this is because it really took off over the weekend. This particular tweet that he made, a lot of people were dragging it a bit. But he was just like, you know, he was talking about the fact that Americans need help and, you know, this is a pandemic, but he just wanted to make sure that he framed it in a very centrist way, like only establishment status quo loving motherfuckers can do. He said that, you know, the American people, they don't want handouts. They don't want handouts. And he said, my dad used to say, Joey, I don't expect the government to solve my problems, but I expect it to understand my problems. So what I want to say is that yes, I am, and many other people are looking for a fucking handout. If the government is taking money out of every single purchase that we make in this goddamn country, if they're taking property taxes, if they're taking income taxes out your ass, you know what I mean? If we are paying you bitches salary, we're paying for you $30,000 goddamn dining sets, Ben Carson. If we are paying you bitches, that's our fucking money. Yes, it's a handout, bitch. Give these, during a pandemic, you gotta phrase something like, oh, don't worry, it's okay, it's not a handout. Yeah, bitch, give me a handout and give the rest of these struggling ass bitches a goddamn handout. What the fuck you talking about? And can you imagine investing in a system, paying a system, and they acting like it's this weird big deal for them to pay your ass the fuck back during a pandemic when bitches are losing jobs and houses and apartments and shit? What the fuck you talking about? Oh, my dad said, I don't expect my government to solve the problems, but I expect them to understand it. The fuck? I can understand that somebody's fucking drowning, and I just, oh, well, I'm not gonna solve the problem. I understand it, and just sit and watch it the fuck happen? No, ma'am. I expect the government to solve all the fucking issues. You bitches can whitey on the moon. You bitches can take y'all ass to the moon and shit. Y'all, I mean, y'all flooded, I remember y'all flooded the market with $1 trillion. Just, and I saw that story come and go. It just disappeared. $1 trillion. And just said, okay, well, y'all good, right? Nothing for everyday fucking Americans. You mean to tell me we are paying taxes to a government who just seeks to understand the problems and not solve them? That's y'all president though. But honestly, it's so disrespectful and so insulting to so many people's intelligence levels because y'all don't, the American government does not seek to understand issues. You know what I saw one day? I saw a lot of people talk about, I did not think that the government could fail this royally. The federal government could turn such a blind eye to what's going on during a pandemic while disease is spreading. And I was just like, wow, y'all really live in your own little bubble. What about the gay community in the 80s? Like, what do you, I didn't think the government was capable of doing this shit. Y'all need help. That shit was garbage, and I'm so mad that I saw Joe Biden saying that shit. But literally, I'm just trying to get used to the fact that we're gonna have 4 years of this shit. And I guess I'll end this video on some news about what's going on with Miss Rona. Miss Rona has taken a lot of people from us. Miss Rona is an evil, evil ass entity, but sometimes she gets the job done correctly. Rudy Giuliani has come down with a case of Miss Rona. He was admitted into some hospital. I would know the name of the hospital if I cared about the fact that he was in one. But HAC says Giuliani, the former mayor of New York City, was in Atlanta on Thursday for a hearing before state senators on a judiciary subcommittee at the Capitol. Videos show he did not wear a mask in the committee room, which was filled with elected officials, witnesses, and journalists. They said that he was in close proximity to senators, Senate staff, members of the media, and the general public. Apparently he is now, quote unquote, doing well. And we have to remember that the whole point of me bringing this shit up is that a lot of times you see these politicians acting recklessly, of course, to rile their base up, but we have to remember they can get their asses into care, into, you know what I mean, the highest levels of medical care that America has to offer, while the rest of the people that they walk through spreading that shit to are going to suffer. And I'm so mad he took his ass to Atlanta. I don't want to see when they get it. I want to see when they turn into dust, when they disintegrate into the sands of time. I'm talking about, I only want to hear about these cases only if these evil people's bodies start to disintegrate, start to resemble the sands in the Sahara Desert, okay? Only contact me when they're floating around in the lands of always winter, when they're floating around in the Phantom Zone from DC Comics, maybe when they're stuck in between multiverses from the Marvel. I'm talking about when they are under the sea, when it's giving lights out. That's when I want to see a headline, okay? And on that note, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure that you check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression. I love you all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
Say I'm not hot, and I know you a liar.